Thank you. So what I'd like you to do is imagine this for a moment. Imagine being back at school and being told to get up in front of your whole class. And imagine being a child who is unconfident, who blushed, who had anxiety about things. And then, because you didn't know the answer, the teacher said, if you don't know this, you're not going to know anything. Not very nice, right? Now, I was that child. And at school, I really struggled to grasp information. It was very hard for me to learn new skills and new subjects. I just didn't really kind of resonate with it. I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. And even throughout college and secondary school, I just still wasn't getting it. I still didn't feel as if I was getting to be the real me. So I kind of went on a journey of wanting to find that connection, a connection with myself. A connection where I could be the person who I knew I was inside. And we've all been in situations like that, right? Where we actually want to have that connection with ourselves and with everything around us. Now, I remember being outside my house one day. And it was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. And I closed my eyes and I just went inside. And as I went inside, I kind of just quietened everything down. And then, when I did that, I found the answer I'd always wanted. But before I tell you about that, I want to talk to you about the keys to success. Imagine having the keys to be able to have the health, the relationships, the careers, exactly how we want them. I'm going to tell you the 5 keys to be able to achieve anything that you want in any area of your life. Now, the very first key to success is knowing your outcome. You've got to know what you want to know where you're going. A lot of people in life don't know their outcome or don't even think about that. And even when they do know their outcome, they don't even think about it in the right way. If we go into a journey in the car and we have a satellite navigation system, what's the very first thing we do? We put in our destination. But people don't do that in real life. They don't do it for themselves. They think about all the things they don't want. I don't want to be more in debt. I don't want to have another bad relationship. I don't want to have another bad career. I don't want fill in the blank. We focus on all the things we don't want. Now, in order to be successful in any area of your life, you've got to be able to make a decision and focus on your outcome. You've got to know exactly what you want in the positive. And when you think about it in a positive way, that's where you get focus. That's where you get the power of focus. And that's where you get alignment and congruency within yourself. And when you have that alignment, that's when things begin to happen. Now, the second key to success is this: taking action. Anyone who's got anywhere in life has taken action. Even if you think of the Martin Luther Kings, the Gandhis, the Richard Bransons, the Bill Gates, they've had to take action on their goal. But here's the thing, there's 2 parts of taking action. There's taking massive action, doing as much as you can to achieve it and giving 110% without even doing anything else, just continually focused on where you're going. Now, the second part of action is inspired action. You know the type of action where you just feel inspired to make a decision. When you have that inspired action and you carry out that inspired action, it means you're aligned with doing what you want. You're not doing action which goes against yourself, which goes against your values. You're taking action which is congruent with you as a person, with your values, your identity, your inner guidance system of your beliefs. Now, when you take that action, the very next step we need is that awareness, to have the awareness of what we're doing, to be aware of our results. Because when we're aware of our results, we can then begin to think, okay, this isn't working, I've got to do something else now. You've got to be very aware of what you're doing. I mean, because you'd never do something 100 times if you knew it'd fail, would you? You'd want to do something different. So you need to be aware of your results. And remember, there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. You just know what not to do. Thomas Edison, creator of the light bulb, said, I didn't fail 10,000 times, I just found 10,000 ways of how not to do it. Now think about that thinking there. He wasn't seeing anything as a failure. He was just one step closer to his outcome. Now, the very next step of having, when you think about it, we've known our outcome, we've taken action, and now we're aware, we've got to have that flexibility in our behavior. So when we know things aren't going just right and our action isn't producing the results we want, we need to be flexible in our behavior to be able to adapt, to be able to change, to be able to succeed. And when you have that flexibility, then anything can begin to happen in alignment with your goals. And then the fifth and final key to success is having that physiology and psychology of excellence. When you begin to think cleanly and clearly exactly where you're going, that's when everything changes. You're congruent with who you are as a person. You have that identity. Now, there's a writer called Neville Goddard, and it's an amazing book. He said this quote, and I found it so fascinating: to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Now, why is that important, and what does that mean? Well, to me, if you assume the feeling of having achieved your goal and outcome, and you have that belief system inside yourself that you're going to get there, you're emotionally and physically aligned with your outcome, then you're always going to get your outcome. So let's have a recap. We've got to know our outcome. We've got to be able to take action. But what kind of action? Inspired action, and also massive action. We then have to begin to have that awareness. If it's not working, we have the flexibility. And when we have that flexibility in our behavior, we also have the fifth and final of having that physiology and psychology of excellence. And it brings me back to my story. When I went outside my house, I went inside, and as I went inside, I began to think about my past, and I realized that I've overcome so many things in my life. I've let go of blushing. Being in this situation here would have petrified me. But I let go of that because I knew my outcome in life. I wanted to have that passion. I wanted to be able to help people. So I want you to take this away from you. Rather than being a product of what life gives you, allow life to be a product of what you choose to create. And when that begins to happen, everything changes for the best in its alignment with you. And what is my outcome? Why am I here? Well, here's why. To be right here, right now. Thank you.